A father and a veteran still missing tonight after a car plunged into the Arkansas River last Friday, the latest on the desperate search. In crafting community, we take you inside a new woodworking space aimed at bringing craftsmen of all skills levels together. But first at 6, breaking news. President Donald Trump has signed an order to impose tariffs on imports from Mexico, China, and Canada. It's a move aimed at forcing the countries to stop the spread in the manufacturing of fentanyl. The president also hopes to pressure Canada and Mexico to limit illegal immigration into the United States. Experts fear the move could spark higher inflation and disrupt business across North America. We'll have more tonight on your 5 News at 10. But here at home, it is a stunning and such a beautiful Saturday, at least for this time of year. The warmth and blue skies brought a lot of people outdoors, including folk like these people in Bentonville, and tomorrow should be even nicer. Thank you so much for joining us today. I am Rachel Williams here with meteorologist Stephen Elmore. Stephen, I was actually one of those people, us and the other 5 News reporters. We all went on a walk 5 miles.
You guys were out and about today.
We were.
I got no invite to the
walk.
Boy,
you wasn't gonna come. You was not gonna come.
It was the perfect day to get outside today. If you thought today was nice, tomorrow's gonna be even better. 60s, 70s, plenty of sunshine. Maybe we can go on a walk tomorrow?
We can go on a walk, Stephen, okay?
Okay.
We'll plan it.
Thank you. All right, let's take a look at what we got right now. Warm temperatures still out there this evening. Got those highs for today. We're right around the upper 40s, low 50s. Still seeing that right down this evening. Now, again, tomorrow we get a little bit warmer and still hang on to that sunshine. Some winds from the southwest going to kick in. That's going to boost our temperature by the time we get to the afternoon tomorrow. Upper 60s, low 70s should be expected for tomorrow afternoon. Let's take a look at what we're expecting for our Sunday and throughout the first half of the week. Amazing weekend, daytime highs, 60s and 70s. We're going to hang on to that above average trend at least to the first half of the week. By the time we get late into this upcoming work week, that's when some rain chances start to kick in, and we'll start to see some of that cooler air filtering in as well. Northwest Arkansas for tomorrow, a little bit more cloud coverage going to kick in. Temperatures going to top out into those upper 60s by the time we get to tomorrow afternoon across the River Valley. Best chance to see those first low 70s so far this season. We'll talk about it coming up in just a bit.
All right, Stephen, thanks. It's now been more than a week since the search began for Justin Baker. Baker is a father and a former combat veteran. Oklahoma Highway Patrol confirms Baker was the 3rd person inside a vehicle that crashed inside the Arkansas River in Sequoia County early last Friday morning. The other 2 people made it out of the car and have since been released from the hospital. But Baker has not been found yet. Law enforcement friends and volunteers have been searching in and around the river. 5 News spoke with Baker's family earlier this week.
We're so grateful to everyone. This has really put into perspective the community that we live in, that everyone just really bands together in times of trouble, and that's what Justin would have done.
The search has included Oklahoma Highways Patrol, Marine Division, and rescue dogs, along with the Fort Smith and Arcoma fire departments. The Cherokee Nation marshals have also assisted. Stay with 5 News as we continue to follow this search. Developing tonight, first responders in Philadelphia spent the day looking through burned cars, damaged homes, and burned debris. They are trying to figure out what made an air ambulance jet en route to Springfield, Missouri, explode as it crashed on a busy city street. All 6 people on board were killed, along with 1 person on the ground. CBS's Madeline Wright has the latest.
The small plane carrying 6 people, including a child who had undergone treatment at a Philadelphia hospital, crashed shortly after takeoff Friday night.
I know that the good people of Northeast Philadelphia this morning, as daybreak came, walked out from their homes, came down from their stoops, and saw carnage in their communities, saw fuselage, saw destruction, and saw things that no one should ever have to experience in their neighborhoods.
Witnesses described a huge fireball amid the tragedy in the densely populated Philadelphia neighborhood.
When I heard a loud bang, my wife called me out she said, "Babe, come outside. There's something happened." A flash out of nowhere came up.
It's very scary, especially since the other day there was another plane crash with a helicopter. 2 days in a row, basically. It's just unheard of.
Authorities are working desperately to find any other casualties on the ground as they go house to house to inspect the dwellings in the area.
This is an active investigation scene. The debris is scattered It is very dangerous.
Of the 6 people on board the Learjet, one was a girl who had just completed treatment at Shriners Children's Hospital. Officials say her mother and crew members were also on board. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum said all the victims were from Mexico. Madeline Wright, CBS News, Philadelphia.
Authorities say 19 people were injured and warned that casualty numbers on the ground could rise. And tonight, new information on Wednesday's mid-air crash near Washington, D.C. The search continues for 25 of the 67 victims died when a passenger jet collided with an Army helicopter. No wreckage from the crash is expected to be removed today. All of the black boxes from the plane and helicopter have been recovered. Coming up at 6:12, how some of the youngest victims are being remembered. Emotional video out of Israel tonight. A hostage, Keith Siegel, reunites with his family. Siegel, an Israeli American, is one of the 3 hostages released from Hamas custody Saturday. Meanwhile, Israel released 183 Palestinian prisoners in the 4th round of exchanges during the Gaza ceasefire deals. Right now is a celebration of Lunar New Year at the Fayetteville Public Library. The Chinese Association of Northwest Arkansas is coming together to celebrate the Year of the Snake. From children participating in the world-famous dragon dance to sharing of food, the event is all about sharing Chinese culture in the community.
Really the celebration of the holiday spirits, sharing that with the community. So it's not just the local Chinese community. I think it's more importantly we're sharing our traditions, cultures with our local community from other ethnic groups, and that sharing our vibrant culture and traditions with all of the community, not just our small community.
The event continues into the evening with a show at 6:30. Chinese New Year lasts until the Lantern Festival on February 12th. New at 6, a new space is opening doors to creativity and craftsmanship. The Workbench Collective is a community workshop in Springdale that provides a space for woodworking enthusiasts of all ages to learn, create, and build. 5 News reporter Jose Carranza takes us inside.
Hands-on learning at the Workbench Collective. Co-founders Clay Ferguson and Charlie Preston created a space to share their passion.
So this is a new community woodshop here in Northwest Arkansas, and we're having a big open house. So letting everybody come explore the space, try some activities, and just kind of see what it's all about.
An engineer by trade, Ferguson discovered his love for woodworking during the pandemic when he built his daughter's crib.
That was my first big project, but one of the challenges I found was having all the tools and the space to do it. And so that's really what kind of brought this idea about of building a space where people can explore the wonderful hobby of woodworking when they just maybe don't have the space to do it or the capacity to get all the tools and time to sink into that. It was really having something in my mind of what it could be and then being able to work really, really hard at it and see that along the process all the steps come together and in the end have something I'm proud of.
The Workbench Collective isn't just for adults. It offers woodworking classes for kids as young as 7 years old. Clay's wife, Sarah, says the Workbench Collective is also an approved vendor for the Education Freedom Act, allowing homeschool and private school families to use their education funds for classes.
Woodworking is a hands-on learning experience. You have social, emotional, and educational experience because you're working with other students, especially other students your age.
Creating whatever your mind desires, the Workbench Collective hopes to provide a place to learn, build, and connect with the community. In Springdale, covering news where you live, Jose Carranza, 5 News.
How many chickens do you weigh? Or how tall are you in apples? A new exhibit at the Scott Family Amazeum in Bentonville helps answer those questions and makes measurements fun. Measurement Rules opens to the public tomorrow, and we got a sneak peek today.
We're excited to bring Measurement Rules because it's part of our traveling exhibition program, and that means that there's always something new and fresh for members and for visitors at the Scott Family Amazeum. And this one is a little bit different because it's great for all ages. Measurement isn't something you think is going to be fun and interactive, but this definitely is.
The exhibit was created by Children's Museum of Pittsburgh. It'll stay on display at the Amazeum through May 11th.